Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Versus your Danis, I misspelled that. I'm not going to edit that out because I'm human. Hey, so look, listen. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Man, what the hell's going on over there, man, at ESPN, right? That's the question. Everyone's talking about Max was fired. Oh, he sucks. He injects race into everything. They should have got rid of him a long time ago. To that, I'd say, in the most respectful way, kindly request that you hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. Let me tell y'all something, right? Let's talk the facts here, right? Max Kellerman and his layoff wasn't a matter of Max Kellerman getting fired because Max Kellerman injects race into the conversations, because Max Kellerman doesn't know anything about sports. Let me tell you something. I'm going to read something to you, right? And these aren't my words, so I want to make sure you guys understand that, because a lot of these cornballs who create content out here, man, they come out here and they just, throw crap to the wind. So I'm going to tell you right now, right here, okay? Understand this. This layoff that happened, right? It marked the third round of layoffs by the worldwide leader, talking about ESPN, with the previous two layoffs focusing on behind-the-scene workers, right? The massive layoff comes as part of mandates from parent company Disney, which announced earlier this year that around 7,000 jobs will be eliminated. Okay? So as far as what Max Kellerman being fired, it doesn't sound like to me like it was anything personal. Matter of fact, it sounds to me like over the last 3, 4, 5 years, they were trying to utilize Max Kellerman's talent the best they could. Now, the reason why I have the photo of that guy Stephen A. Smith, that guy is he's different, right? But I got this photo up here because I'm wondering if the kind of unraveling of Max Kellerman and him working on ESPN, if it started, years ago when he and Stephen A. Smith were working together. Now, there's an article that was put out there by the New York Post where Stephen A. Smith kind of talked a little bit about it and kind of what happened. And where he goes on to where he's saying he's setting the record straight, where he says the rumors are accurate in terms of me wanting him off the show. So Stephen A. Smith wanted Max Kellerman off the show. He said, let's get that out the way. Yes, I did want him off the show. Now, that seems a little bit harsh, but he says it wasn't really about asking him to be off the show. It was about the fact that I knew that we together, as far as I was concerned, was not a great partnership anymore, and that was something that needed to change. Let me tell you something. This is all political crap, in my opinion. Now, for a guy who's, worked almost 25 years around people who have this I'm okay, you're not okay type of mentality and attitude, let me tell you something. This is what it sounds like to me. Now, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just telling you, as I read through this article, I'm like, there's a whole lot of I'm okay, he's not okay, or she's not okay. And as a result, I want this person gone because I'm uncomfortable. It ain't about ratings. It's not about becoming a better journalist. No, it's about you feeling threatened by somebody, and you don't want that competition. You don't want that challenge, and you don't want them to show how much you really don't know. Because we all know Stephen A. Smith can't talk boxing intelligently. Max Kellerman can. All right? So let's understand that. But anyway, he goes on and says that he was unapologetic about his position. And he said there's no knock against, Max professionally. He said his work ethic and all the other stuff. He said not his talent. He said it's not like he wanted him to be fired. I knew there were landing spots for him at this network that would generate just as much, if not more revenue for him and all that other stuff. That all sounds like BS. It's like when people are like, hey, I've got a great opportunity for you. We're going to remove you from this position and put you over here. I think you can thrive. I'm telling you, man, when I listen to this, it sounds like the BS. They try to sell somebody when basically they're firing them from a position or the person doesn't want them there. You understand? And it's not that they're trying to create a better opportunity, because if they really cared about them and their future, they would have never pushed to say, I didn't want to work with this person anymore. That's different from saying, hey, I wanted to work with him, but there were some better opportunities, and I felt like, you know what, I can't be selfish and keep the person here. Let me allow them to go and flourish, like Eddie Hearn with Devin Haney. Hey, go ahead, get your money. Eddie Hearn, Regis Prograis, if it's an opportunity to go fight and unify for the titles, hey, go get your money. Eddie Hearn with what's his name? Anthony Joshua. He's going to let him go and make his money. Anyone fighting over there, Eddie Hearn, Katie Taylor, whatever, he has no problem and letting his guys go onto another platform and make their money. You understand? And that's the difference. This thing Stephen A. Smith is talking about, that's not the case. But anyway, he goes on to say, look, it was more about keeping things fresh on First Take by implementing change, that removing Kellerman specifically. Once you plant those kind of seeds, people will watch a person a kind of way. And if you are someone who people feel that, well, your word matters to them, and if you plant a seed that, hey, I don't want this person around, let's find something else, they're gonna look at us as someone who maybe not able to get the job done. And I'm telling you and I'm not saying that's the case here. I'm just telling you from my experience. If you're not coming out here, man, and saying positive things about sounding like you want someone to stay, like I've had opportunities where I could have said negative things about people who I wanted, from underneath me. And I knew that they were paying. I knew they weren't bringing things to the table. But I felt there was a lot of good there too. And I just wasn't going to just sit there and want them out. Now, I did have a couple where it's like, no, they just had to go. They just didn't care. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't worried about anyone who challenged or questioned me, or questioned my authority, or questioned my knowledge. Because I always was able to show them that, hey, look, grasshopper, I've trained you well. You know your stuff, but you don't know more than me. And that's kind of how those things went. But this right here to me is just bad business. Bad business, man. So he goes on and he says, this thing's jumping around. So he goes on and says basically that they moved Max around. Max was making about $5 million a year. And Max has had several talk shows. And, Max looks like he's done pretty well, if you ask me. The fact that he's been laid off, I don't think he'll have any problem getting a job. He's not going to have to worry about, collecting unemployment. Man was making about $5 million a year. But what I will tell you is I just wonder if the fact that Stephen A. Smith decided that he wanted to change the debate format of his show and get Kellerman off of the show, if that was kind of the beginning of the end for Max Kellerman. Because even I noticed that, what are all these different shows that Max Kellerman is hosting on ESPN? I was like, what? It was always something different. So in a sense, they were giving him these opportunities and creating little platforms, internal platforms for him to build and thrive. But at the same time, I just can't help but wonder if Max Kellerman and the whole this just in, if it was just something that was always, hey, next time we have these cutbacks, look, we got to get rid of Max. And the other thing that a lot of people don't know is this person, Pat McAfee, right, joined ESPN on a 5-year deal for $85 million. Look, man, that just further diminished Max Kellerman, man. When you have deals like that, and sometimes they just gotta, let some people go. It's a lot of money. He wasn't the only one now. I just think that it's odd that they got rid of him, man. And I understand how things go. You have to have cutbacks and find ways to save money. But I wonder if the beginning of the end had anything to do with Stephen A. Smith saying, look, I don't want this guy working with me anymore. And, it is what it is. But if you ask me, I think it's a whole lot from Stephen A. Smith being, I'm okay, he's not okay. And I'm not saying he's wrong or right, because I don't know the whole story. I'm just telling you, I think that's what it is. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Maybe Max Kellerman could go back to rapping. You know, he was a rapper before. You know what I'm saying? Rapping about boxing and everything else. Let's see what happens with old Max Kellerman, and best of luck to him. But people can say he doesn't know anything about boxing. Nah, man, he's pretty good, man. I don't see how people give him flack for talking boxing, man. He'll be all right, and I don't think he'll have any issue picking up another gig at all, man. That being said, y'all keep cool. A little surprised they got rid of old Max Kellerman, man, but ESPN's doing what they're doing. Hell, Teofimo's gone. You just don't know what the hell's going on. And when we talk about cutbacks, it doesn't have anything to do with Bob Arum, but it makes me wonder, what's the relationship between the promoter and these networks? There's got to be some kind of financial relationship. There's got to be something there. And for me, I'm just not sure what it is. But I wish I knew more, because I could share that with you. Maybe all that stuff tied together. ESPN, cutbacks, the promoter having exclusive dates on the network, and that affected how much the promoter's able to pay the athletes. And I don't know, but I wish I knew. And I guess I had to do more homework, right? That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. I still think Stephen A. Smith kind of got the ball rolling. I don't think it was done intentionally. But hey, man, once you plant the seed that you don't want somebody on your team, that's not positive. That's not good. You want our ratings up. Our ratings had gone down. I mean, come on, man. Try something else instead of getting rid of someone. Anyway, y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.